The magistrate's cobra-like hood was vibrating with her frustration. She let out an exasperated sigh. Glowering down at the younger Nagaji before her, she asked him, "Do you have anything to say in your defense?" And he offered no response. "What does your father have to say about your behavior? Surely he's been apprised." At this, the male exhaled as if bored of this whole exchange. "My father hasn't spoken to me since the last incident, Magistrate. I am no longer welcome in his house." Her expression softens a little. "I see. Then where have you been residing?" "My uncle was kind enough to take me in," he shrugs. "Why is he not present at this hearing then, Tarazi?" Tarazi shakes his head. "He's excused from attendance on account of his being deceased. Hunting accident over a week ago." He rolls his eyes. "Not that I need a guardian any longer. I am of age." The magistrate scowls at his lack of deference. "Very well, Mr. Vadaz. If you wish to represent yourself as an adult, then you can be sentenced as an adult." Tarazi pales at this, but says nothing. "On account of your repeated offenses and the testimony of the assembled witnesses, I offer you a choice. Prison or the military." Tarazi starts to object, but she interrupts. "As your father no longer claims you as a member of his household, you are no longer considered exempt from military service." She leans over the railing, lowering her face until it's mere inches from his own. "I'd choose the honor of the military over the shame of imprisonment, Tarazi. Do something good with your life for a change." Tarazi's shoulders droop in defeat. "Do you choose to serve Nagajor?" He nods. "I so choose." This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that glosses over the Lovecraftian horror in the other room because, honestly, we've got bigger flayers to fry. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Fried Flayer.
Phew.
My favorite GooTube flavor.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Last week on the program, we joined a fight already in progress. Alwyn hung out at the bottom of a pit healing himself while the Flayer scared all of the marshals away. So Kira and Levi started running. Tarazi tried to run only to get punched in the back of the head so hard that he fell down dying. Brixby quickly rescued him and dimension doored him out of the room, leaving Alwyn and Asuma both hidden in the room while the two big ones ran away. There was a lot of running. There was a lot of strategically trying to figure out how to survive until Tarazi was revived, healed up as Alwyn rejoined Brixby and Tarazi, and they came back through to make another stand against the Flayer, who stole Kira's chainsaw. That was a big highlight of the episode. And then the Flayer and Tarazi started going toe-to-toe again with Alwyn healing him up and Brixby providing some spell support and attacking the brain that kept trying to screw everything up for everybody. Yeah, and at some point in the melee, Asuma seemed to go down, which was unfortunate, but when we left our heroes, nobody was afraid anymore. Kira and Levi were on their way back, and Tarazi had just dropped the Flayer to the ground with a sword to the face. So that's where we are now, still in combat for the third consecutive episode. And yeah, you want to take a 5-foot step or anything, Jeff?
No, I want to stay right here so I could silver her in a moment.
And say your patented catchphrase, "You just got nullified," or whatever. We're still working on it.
Yeah. Patent pending.
Oh, I was going to say patent pending.
Oh, wow. So this is, I mean, the only remaining enemy is like the anathema of my character. They can see invisibility. They are immune to mind affecting, and they are immune to fire.
And they have a really high touch.
Yes, and they have a super high touch AC. And they want to go up my sinus and live in my brain. So I'm going to 5-foot step back down to the south. A little taste of your own medicine. I'm going to start off with a spell resistance roll, because I believe the brain has spell resistance.
Yeah, it is resistant to some spells.
Alrighty. Well, I luckily have the 2 spell penetration feats, so that helps me a little bit. That is a 32 with a 15 off the die.
That's plenty.
All right, I need a reflex save from you as I cast off my last big spell that isn't teleporty. That is a lightning bolt.
Well, it is a very reflexy little fella here with a 35.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you did a good job. You should feel good about that, Brain. So, I'll just roll 5d6 instead of 10d6, and you just take all of that. So that's 17 points of damage
All right.
to Brainerton, and that is the end of my turn.
All right, it doesn't seem like it did anything.
Oh, man. It's
Just
literally...
add insult to injury.
It's fair. Well, I'm all out of literally everything, and that is the end of my turn.
And at the end of your turn, the last of the acid fogs disappears, notably.
Still walled in there, though.
All right, well, something may actually happen on the Thalgoose turn. Who's to say? And then we're back around to the massive Alwyn.
You know what? He is going to cast, he is once again going to cast Blood Tentacles. And then he is just going to move over next to Tarazi. And that will be his turn.
Which brings up Malqui, and I think Malqui is going to psychically scream in all of your ears. Just like, stop killing my toys! Then he disappears in a puff of purple. Well, the brain friend is gone. The Flayer, on her turn, is laying there looking pretty dead, except that, her eyes open. She's just laying there with her eyes open, not quite so dead. And that's Kira's turn.
Sorry, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her and take my chainsaw.
The Dorifice that you ran over to, that was the one you guys didn't open before, that leads into the northern side of this room. If Kira wants to open that, she does have to hit it.
Okay, I'm going to hit it with a Lucerne hammer, right? Is that going to be my best bet? I think so.
Yeah, you could draw it as you moved and then smash it.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, remember Ethel? But no, I'm going with
It's been a
Lucy.
while since Ethel's gotten any play.
Okay, let's roll a d20 and smack this door. That is going to be a 14 plus 20, 34.
All right, why don't you roll some damage on this fleshy door?
3d6 plus 25. 10, 12 plus 25, 37.
That is enough
Yeah.
to break that open.
Excellent. So I've moved, I've actioned. I can't keep moving, right?
Right, that's the end of the
Okay,
turn.
so I'm going to just stop here in the doorway then.
But you can see what's going on. You can see Tarazi standing over the possibly dead, possibly not dead Flayer. There's a dead Nathalgu on the ground here, and that's about it.
Yeah, free action, since she's still raging and has wasted like 6 rage rounds now, she's going to scream at this maybe dead person. I'm gonna take that chainsaw back from your stupid dead body, and enact come and get me. So you get a +4 on attack and damage rolls against me until the beginning of my next turn.
All right. She'll probably use those.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Snake Squad.
Right. Levi races down the hallway, clear-headed. 10 feet. He's fallen after Kira. Can't keep up with her speed. Tarazi was about to CDG this Flayer with a silver weapon, but now she's not helpless. So no, I think he's just gonna attack her 3 times. Get her nice and low, instead of trying to take a single swing with a different weapon. But she fell, so she would have dropped the chainsaw, so she would have to use an action to pick it up.
Yeah.
So, all right, here comes some dice. I miss her proneness all 3 times.
Oh my god.
So, sorry, gang. I really tried.
I mean, the only damage I've done in this entire combat is to my friend, so hang in there.
Oh, all right, gang. Brixby is going to move 10 feet to the west, 5 feet to the north, and then 10 more feet to the west, putting himself at the north of the Felstrak. And this is fun, how many negatives I have to take on this. So if I'm going to make a ranged touch attack against a creature that is in melee without precise strike, I have to take a -8 on this attack. But I get a +2 because I'm still invisible. So I'm taking a cumulative -6 on my ranged touch attack here. But that is a 19 off the die for a 25 versus flat-footed touch.
That will hit spell resistance.
Nope, because it is an acid splash with a
Splashy
rider
do.
of 2 points of acid and another 21 of sneak attack damage just to keep her down.
All right. She looks like she's back down.
Go to sleep.
Hero.
All right. And the wall of force disappears.
Yep. God dang it.
in case anybody was keeping track.
Yep.
The wall of force is gone. We're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 feet. The Nathalgu is hanging out. Let's see. It doesn't have a good line for more than one person is the thing. So we're going to cast a different spell. And I was mentally prepared for this thing to get turns today. I was totally prepared. It forms an arrow of acid in its little pinchy claws, and it's going to fire it at, let's see, it can see Alwyn and Tarazi. So we're going to roll a die here. Odd Tarazi, even Alwyn. That is a 5, so that is Tarazi. Ranged touch attack. We are looking at only a 19 versus touch.
Oh yeah, he's all armor and shield. That hits him.
All right. So 3 points of acid with no splash damage. And just remember, you got acid on you for a couple rounds yet. And Alwyn, you're back here. Back into reality.
Yeah. So Alwyn was just going to pound on the Flayer with his tentacles to make sure she stayed below 0. But now that thing's attacking us, so he is going to take a 5-foot step so that he can actually see it, because it's currently 65 feet away. So now he can actually see it and target it. And He is... I don't remember how good... Well, I don't have anything else that I'm using that spell slot for. Go ahead and make me a will save on that thing, Sam.
Spell resistance?
It does have spell resistance, I believe. I can't imagine it wouldn't. Yes, it does. And also, if he's an arcane caster, he's going to take a -4.
He does be that.
My spell resistance is a 14 plus a 15, so 29.
All right, so you got that, yeah.
Okay.
And
then he's got to make a will save with a... Did you say he does have the arcane casting?
Indeed.
So that would be a -4.
So that is going to be a 17.
That is a fail. He has been feeble-minded. His intelligence, charisma, and wisdom have all been reduced to 1, and he can do nothing other than like defend himself or allies if he's near them. Let me read the actual thing because it's more fun that way. Feeble mind. Target a creature's intelligence and charisma score. Oh, just intelligence and charisma. His wisdom's fine. Each drop to 1. The affected creature is unable to use intelligence or charisma-based skills, cast spells, understand language, or communicate coherently. Still, it knows who its friends are and can follow them and even protect them. The subject remains in this state until a heal, limited wish, miracle, or wish spell is used to cancel the effect.
Haha, stupid brain.
Well, that's mean.
So I've basically reduced that thing to a vegetative state.
Well, the Flayer that is in pieces on the ground is knitting herself back together. And Kira's up.
I just remembered the brain ran away. We're not fighting the brain anymore. We're fighting the thingy.
It's covered
That's
in
fine.
brains, though. So.
It is. It's got a lot of brains in there. Kira is in... She probably can't see the Nethel Ghoul from where she is, yeah?
No, she can't. There's a wall in the way.
Okay. So she's just going to run into the room because I think that's all I can do anyway. We're going to go 70 feet. Right down here. Oh, just kidding. And I've closed the door. And I've dragged from the wrong entrance. Okay, here we go. 70 feet. Oh, sweet. I can get right behind what's-her-face, who is dead. But I want to step on her a little bit and pick up my chainsaw.
That's mean.
So that's it. That's my turn. And now I guess I can see the other thing. So when it feels like it's appropriate, I'll go after it. And that's my turn.
All right, Snake Squad.
Levi is going to make it into the room.
Woohoo!
Yeah. He makes it all the way.
Reunited.
Yeah. At the feet of Giant Kira, Trezzy drops the null blade, draws his silver longsword, and will CDG her. So it's a guaranteed crit.
Yeah, so it's just a fortitude save against the damage. Plus 20 or something absurd.
10 plus damage dealt.
So that is 12 damage.
12 damage with a silver weapon.
Yes.
All right, so the DC is 20 plus 12, is that right?
Yep. You got, no, 10, so it's 22.
22. Well, then she actually does get it, but it doesn't matter because she was just hit with a silver weapon and knocked below con. So she's dead anyways.
Yay.
So the Flayer is slayered.
I cannot wait to bring back a piece of her to Pater. I know that sounds terrible, but Brixby is 100% gonna Hammurabi that. You want a leg? I'll give you a leg.
All right, well, it is Brixby's turn. There's still a Nathalgo across the room. That's a very big threat right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I could just roll up to it and have an of mice or men moment, but I really don't want to. So I'm going to leave that to somebody else. I Yeah. I don't really have the right. I guess no. I'm invisible. Why not? And I have low morality. It's not like I'm actually chaotic good. Alrighty. I'm gonna roll to hit you with an acid splash while invisible. Just look at the flowers, buddy. Alright. That was a 20 plus. So versus your flat-footed touch, that is a 25.
Yeah, that'll hit the giant crab monster whose brain doesn't work.
Not going to make me feel bad because it's a lot of other people's brains that it has that are also not working. It's wearing brain right now.
Yeah, Aloe enfeebled so many minds.
No. The greatest minds of the generation were on that back. So unfortunately, only 3 points of acid damage and 18 points of sneak. Not a wonderful roll there. But I'm still invisible, so it doesn't know what happened. I guess. That's my turn.
The loving Nathalgu just got splashed with acid in a very sneaky way. It has no idea what's going on. It's trying to figure out how to knit with its giant pincher claws right now, I think. Just standing in the doorway. Has a vague sense that it was doing something. We're back up to Alwyn at the top of round 18.
But now you've made me identify with it by standing in a doorway and having a vague sense of doing something, because that's like 3 times a day for me. Like,
I came in here for something.
exactly.
Tarazi does tick 6 acid damage on its turn.
I wish its will was lowered too, because I would absolutely just hit it with a phantasmal.
It is. I just lowered it by 6.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Hey, Sam, make me a will save.
Oh, you're just being so mean to this thing. So it's -6.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we're looking at an 18.
That is a fail. Make me a fortitude save. Which that it'll probably pass, so this is probably useless, but it'll do a little bit of damage.
30.
It's funny.
It's still fortitudinous.
Yeah, unfortunately that didn't get down. So it's going to take like scratch damage from this. Some D6s. That is 12 points of mental damage. This poor thing.
Kira, it's your turn. You're standing on a dead Flayer.
With my chainsaw,
Yeah,
can I snatch it from her dead hands?
I suppose.
Is that like what is that, an action?
Yeah, it's basically a move action to pick it up.
Okay, I'm gonna move and pick it up, and then hug it. And then that's my move action. So I guess I'm going to look over at the Nethal Ghoul who has had its faculties impaired and be like, oh, you just wait.
Well, you can use your other action to move again.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move 40 feet, right up behind Brixby. I'm a coming. You. Oh man. And that's it. That's my turn.
All right, snaky times.
Yeah. Levi he could get right up to it and not attack it, so I think instead he'll just move up to join the menacing, feeble-minded squad.
Yeah.
Tarazi will sheath the silver weapon and pick back up the null blade and then take a 5-foot step onto the corpse of the Flayer. Just, oops. Oh, that was I'm sure Peter could still recognize her.
All right, Brixby.
Oh, man, this is worse. Like the fact that I'm doing this again makes it feel like I thought I was just gonna. And I rolled a nat 20 too. Okay, well, I guess I should see if it crits, because I guess it will.
Yeah, that'll crit.
With a 28 versus flat-footed touch.
2, 3.
But unfortunately, we're only like. Exactly. It's not like it's gonna. Yeah. Woo, that does 4 points of acid damage. I really wish this is what got doubled. Unfortunately, it's
23
19
total.
more points of sneak attack.
And it's looking pretty hurt, but it is still alive.
Yep.
Sadly for it.
All right. This is gonna... I guess there's no way to get out of anyone's way. I'll stay there.
Well, I think it being attacked and seeing actual people, like, where the attack came from is probably enough to make it go, rawr, I'm so mad.
Yeah, it would attempt to, fight back
So
at
it's
this
going to
point.
run forward, bump into Brixby, get super confused, and kind of zoop around him a little bit so it can try to bite Kira.
Try it.
Now, question: since Kira is big, would that have incurred an attack of opportunity when it went into her?
Yeah, Kira does
space.
indeed get an attack of opportunity.
Please let me hit. I want to do 1 damage. Just 1 damage. Okay, that's a 16. Plus, my chainsaw's back. Plus 21, 16, 21, 47.
47 will hit, yes.
Jeff just said something else.
10 down.
Yeah, 37.
37.
Yeah, that sounds more right.
Yeah, that does sound
but
more
it's
right.
still
That's how you
plenty.
do math. 37. I'm large, so that's gonna be 46 plus 26. We're gonna do this in the guy. 40 points. 40 points of damage, Sam.
You killed it!
Yeah, I mean,
Woohoo!
You did it!
I'll take it, I guess. 40 points of damage.
Combat over. Kira did a thing.
Did a thing.
You get so many steps in.
So many steps.
What was the final count? The encounter
18.
just closed, so I didn't get to see it.
That was the end of round
18?
18, yeah.
That beats out
Oh
the fight, the book 1 fight, right? Like,
I was gonna say, I think that beats the robot.
yeah.
Probably, yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's something that's very interesting about defeating the enemy that you were most afraid of, having the other enemy that is pretty dangerous disappear, and then essentially, like, I remember reading once that porcupine almost went extinct inside the United States because they really didn't have a lot of fear of humans, so they would walk right up and just get, like, conked on the head. And I feel like we basically just had that interaction there.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to, there was a, what was it? It wasn't a rhea. It was another one of those big birds like that,
yeah.
the big flightless ones. It might have been a moa, but one of them, that like they just had 0, and they would just like walk up to people, and the Maoris just like ate all of them because they had 0 fear of humans.
Too good for this world. Big birds. But we did it. We murdered them.
Yay.
All of
Speaking of murder,
We need to
where's
get
Asuma?
out of this horrible
Take a nap.
place. Kira.
Yeah, we
Where's
all
Asuma?
group around Brixby and say, leave.
No, wait, Asuma.
Oh yeah, is she invisible yet? Or visible yet?
About 12 seconds after the Nathalgu goes down, the dead body of Asuma appears in front of Alwyn. She is very, very chainsawed.
Aww, not Asuma. Made it so far. I'm sad. I guess we should take her with us.
Somebody get the DFB. Get the DFB.
Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta
We're not
gotta
leaving her
revive
here.
Azuma. We're not leaving her.
Malquis still lives.
Yes, we need to get her to. We need to get her to
we?
Idenvay, right?
Or do we bury
Yes.
her with her brethren?
Did she didn't... yeah.
That is a question. I feel like if we had killed what's-his-face, ooh, that is a
Yeah.
good... Yeah.
Malquis, he lives. He lives. And I don't think that she would want her final rest until it has whatever it gets. Maybe that's vindictive. And if we bring her back, maybe she won't want to come back.
Okay.
But I would rather waste the gold
I
and
think
the
we should give her
time.
a chance.
her story is not over.
Can Brother Dervich use the spell that Brixby had talked about, possibly using on one of the enemies we fought before, the one that lets you talk to their spirit? And maybe we could ask her if she wants to come back or not?
That would probably be a prudent use of their resources, because that's a much less powerful magic, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be much cheaper. We can cast Speak with Dead and see if what she says.
I mean, this is up to Sam. I hate to ask this, but is the general situation intact? Because that's always been the limitation of that spell, is like you can't speak with dead with a skull or anything. It has to have the ability to...
I mean, you have her body. She didn't take like massive damage or get disintegrated or anything. Obviously, she was horribly wounded by the chainsaw. One thing to keep in mind when you're talking about bringing her to Eidenvey, though, is that she is a literal space alien.
Yeah, but she can go there in the bag because she's a corpse, and then we just teleport away.
Yeah. I'd also like to point out that no one in Eidenvey knows what a Kasatha is.
You were gonna say
we could tell them she's some
anything
kind of
to us.
magical creature. They don't know she's an alien.
This is my dog.
Yes.
Yeah. We've already dragged a freaking Yao Guai's corpse into the thing. Like, she doesn't look any more alien than that thing did.
I feel confident that we could at least make our case to the brother. It's not very dignified, but if we put her in the blanket and in the bag, no one sees her. I think we should try the illusion protocol, but we should also remember the last time that we were there, we did not use it. So that may result in something different if we go there, but who else has the magic? There's no one at Scrapwall. There's no one in Torch.
Might I suggest we also put this Flayer's corpse in a bag? I don't know, I would hate for her to get reanimated. We don't even know what this flesh lab to the west does. And Maukwi is the literal worst.
Yes, even if they don't have a way of bringing her back, I wouldn't want to leave a body as powerful as hers for Malqui to possibly get into either.
So we put her in the plastic Winn-Dixie bag reserved for enemies. Exclusively where she is going before going inside the bag.
Dead enemy Winn-Dixie bag.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude.
I think so, right? Dead enemy Winn-Dixie bag. Dude.
The B is silent on dude. Oh wow, yeah. It's been a fight, everybody.
Whew.
Yeah, feeling a little punchy, but Crispy has like 0 illusion spells. No, it's not true. No, wait.
Whatever the one was, though you probably don't have that prepared, the chainsaw to dogs spell.
No, I have nothing. I have nothing prepared.
Yeah.
The classic
that was not,
chainsaw to dogs.
Definitely was not something you were planning on needing to use anytime soon.
But yeah, no, because I have like the major image spell for the Halic, and then I have... Yeah.
And I mean, we've spent enough time in the Temple of Erastil that you could probably just teleport us straight to there, and most of the town wouldn't see us. I would say that would be carefully studied, right? We spent the night in there before.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've been there several times.
Unfortunately, yes. Like, I mean, that's not a terrible idea. I mean, also, we can just, like, put our tech away this time. I feel like last time we were just like, screw decorum.
I mean, like, we should definitely do both. Like, put the tech away and teleport directly into the temple, or the meeting hall, whatever that gets called, just so that the less people we see in town, the better.
Kira, Tarazi, how do you feel about getting our teleport on, and then does the Erastil antlers sign with his head? That we've established is canon, at least in the
As you know.
Is how you greet each other. Do you want to go directly to the temple Does it sound okay to both of you?
Sure.
I think we need to help Asuma.
Tarazi will cast Carry Companion and turn Levi into an adorable little statue.
I always imagine him turning into one of those little wooden snakes with like the slits cut in them so they move.
Oh,
Aw.
what do I have to hide? I guess Brixby's going to take off his V-mods. He's got like terrible tan lines. It's just like all super pink, like right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fur is super matted.
Yeah, he doesn't
down.
wash under there.
Well, and we've also been wearing the filter masks nonstop too.
We are gross. We every time like
Disgusting.
this poor gentleman probably has such a like, scrumptious little life of like pastoral bucolic beauty, and we just like show up and we're like, someone is dead every, I don't know, couple of days at this point. So even in the middle of the decomposing insides of a shit body, still looking okay. With his like 8 charisma. Anyway, let's get out of here. So Brixby is going to think about the Temple of Erastil, and a little shiver is going to go down his spine because that is when his mortal soul, or where his mortal soul rejoined his body. And that's a 53, so that is more than fine enough to bring us into the middle of dinner, or like whatever else he has going on in there. Like Elks Club bingo or something.
I-19.
We teleport in such a way that like Azuma's in his bed with him.
Well, you pop into the Temple of Erastil in Eidenvey, and it is like it's the middle of the day. It's probably early afternoon because you've had an adventuring day, but like most stuff doesn't take all that long. And I think that like there's not just Brother Derviach and Red Fang there. There's like a bunch of people from Eidenvey like in all the seats, like they're arranged for a service, and you all just kind of like pop in right in the front of the room, like just looking like absolute death, probably still covered in some of those little floaty jellyfish things.
The Veltstrak's body just falls onto the altar.
It's just like pop right into the room, like right up, just stage left of where everyone's already focused anyway. And like Brother Derviach stops the sermon that he was giving that had everyone's rapt attention immediately, and everyone just kind of stares for an awkward second.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brixby, and I'm an adventurer. Sorry.
Hi,
You said they were sitting in a
Brixby.
circle.
Bless Deadeye, so good.
Actually,
I love the
though,
idea that Kira's still just huge.
Yeah, Kira's
No,
18
you're
feet tall.
huge.
Alwyn has tentacles coming out of him.
covered in blood. But don't worry, we don't have any technology this time. Hi, everyone. We are very sorry to interrupt this sermon. Brother Derviach, could we please make use of your rectory? Pretty much any space.
Yes, if you want to just proceed through the door there, I'll finish up here, and then we can speak momentarily.
All right to your bed then. Okay, yeah, I'll just pop in, take a quick nap. Little levity.
If you could not.
You are sermonizing.
Alwyn, curious about the service, sits down in one of the pews and politely watches it.
I think Brother Derviach continues with a abbreviated version of his service, speeds his way through it, and people are paying a lot less attention now that they've seen like the 18-foot tall Kira and the snake person and everybody covered in blood and acid and flechette sticking out of a couple of you, and the stench. Oh, the stench.
Real stink.
Because I think Levi and Ella would still stink.
Mechanically stink.
Yeah, I don't think I cast remove disease on either of us. I did not.
Yeah, mechanically ripe.
Which doesn't that like mechanically sicken people?
So No,
Yeah,
everyone's vomiting.
they're all
Yeah.
failing their fortitude saves over there.
I think he like looks at the person next to him like violently vomiting and goes, "Oh, right," and puts his hood up to try to be a little more incognito.
Less stink.
Eventually, like the sermon ends on like the talk of the town is clearly about all of you appearing, but Brother Dervish comes in to see you all after just a little while, and he's like, "Hello again, friends. I apologize. You caught me at a bit of an awkward time, but what can I do for you?"
Brother, this is our companion Isuma. We've been fighting these horrible monsters, and one of them killed her, and we originally thought about bringing her here so you could help bring her back like you did for me and like you did for Brixby, but then we kind of thought about, well, I don't know if that's what everyone thought about, but Tarazi mentioned that we weren't sure what she wanted, and that made me think of Asher and how he said he wouldn't want to be brought back. So, do you know the spell Speak with Dead?
Rare that I would have to prepare it, but yes, the old stag could certainly grant it to me. I always keep a few of my options open, as it were. And I think his eyes kind of finally drift to the dead friend blanket and the sort of strange shape of the person inside it. Is Asuma visible, or is she's
still wrapped up? So
Yeah, so it would just be like a humanoid shape.
I'd like to add, Father, before you see our friend, we want you to hear her story. She came here long ago to this planet, a stranger, and her tribe, her people were taken from her. She hasn't got her vengeance yet. She died trying to get it. I want you to look past what's on the outside. Find that feeling that I just described. Catch it inside yourself. See it in her heart, too, no matter how many arms she has. Please.
Arms? I don't think I understand.
Well, Asuma is not a human. Well, actually, none of us are human exactly, but she's even less so than any of us. But she and her friends were taken from their home a long time ago and had to endure a lot of just really awful things. And then those friends were killed, and they were taken over by some of the same creatures that attacked her, and she had to kill them again. And she stood vigil over them all night long after burying them. And she's helped save our lives many, many times. So even though, like Brixby said, even though she's strange, she is a very important, very brave person, and we'd like you to help her if you can.
Well, I'll certainly try. She sounds like she's had a difficult road. I think he needs a few minutes to pray to Erastil to get the spell, which, we can mechanically hand wave as him praying over. We should clarify that this is obviously not the original dead friend blanket, which is buried with Asher and Torch.
no, yeah, this one we actually bought from the Pot Against the Machine store. So it's a little bit of like
Then we have to put a blanket in the store.
it breaks the fourth wall a little bit. It just makes it a little bit easier on the sadness. But yeah, we have to put one in the store now.
Yeah, we really do. That's an oversight.
Come check out our merch.
And then when he's ready, he has the spell, and he says, if you will, I'll need to see your friend's face in order to cast the spell on her.
Alwyn will unwrap just like the top of the blanket enough to show her face, which honestly is probably the least weird looking part of her, because like all Kasatha, she's got a mask covering about 90% of her face. So it's just like a long head.
It's just a long head and those rather alien eyes, and then the mask over most of her actual face. And he jumps like visibly when he sees her, and like holds a hand to the holy symbol on his chest, and she says, oh my, I'm not oh, it doesn't matter. I will do as I promised. I do not need to answer all questions immediately. And it will reach out and cast Speak with Dead on the lifeless body of Asuma, which grants some semblance of life to her body. It is not actually her like soul, it's just her corpse, so it knows like what she knew when she died. But yeah, you can ask her questions, up to 5 questions.
Who wants to ask him?
Asuma, that wasn't a question.
Yes. That's like...
Sounded like a question.
It's like the D&D movie with the corpses in the battlefield.
Great movie. We are sorry. We're sorry, first of all. We didn't want to bring you back without asking first, so I guess... What do you want? Also, you're dead. Sorry.
And, like the corpse seems to think for a second, and it does... She answers in Androphan, because that's the answer, or that's the language she speaks. She never learned more than a couple words of common, and so... And she says, does Mauqui still live?
Yeah, he got away again.
Will you promise to hunt him down?
Uh-huh.
I feel like you have to ask another question, because that was her answer.
Do you want to help us do it, or do you want to rest with your friends?
She says, I couldn't hurt him. I couldn't do anything.
You can still want to watch him die. That's okay. But it's okay to also want your reward.
We could use your help if you want to, but if you want to be with your friends, that's okay too.
You gotta ask her another question. We're playing a little bit fast and loose with the song, but she only gets short answers.
Do you want to be brought back to life?
I think the head kind of lifts off the floor just a little bit, and it says, no. I'm 1,000,000 miles from my home. Thousands of years from my home. There's nothing left for me here. I think that was 3, so you got 2 more if you want to ask anything else.
Can we bury you with your friends?
I would like that very much.
It's not a question, but Terasi would just say, we'll avenge you.
Will you tell us what they say on your planet over the bodies of the dead? We maybe heard you say it before, but if there's anything that you would like us to say over your form Please let us know.
And she says, "My people believe in a silent vigil from sunset to sunrise." And then the semblance of life that had been breathed into her fades out, and you can see, like, she was gray and pale to begin with, even when she was alive, but that sort of non-life of her seeps back in, and like the stiffness of death, and she's a corpse once more.
We should go.
Yes, thank you for your time and your help, brother. I think we have our answer.
I understand, and I'm sorry that you've lost another friend. It is a hard road you walk. Spring will come.
Given that nobody has anything that they need in town or from Brother Dervich or anything, I mean, the even be appropriate task of at this point, we return for the third time to the place where Azuma's compatriots are buried. I guess I have to roll, actually, because this would be a horrific time to have a really bad mishap on the old dicey. Oh, 96.
Ooh, that was close.
What does that mean?
Actually, is it considered... No, we spent the night there several times, or twice at least.
Well, you only spent one actual night there, but you literally stayed up
all night fighting bug monsters, yeah.
So 96 for... so if I've seen it casually, 96 puts me in a similar area. If I've studied carefully, that puts us off target. We're just a random distance away from the destination and a random destination.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think if you're off target, I think you have to roll another D100.
Okay, 6.
Okay, so only 6% off.
How many
See
miles
about how
did we
far.
travel?
From Eidenvey to Scar of the Spider, you're looking at about 130 miles.
Or it is
So-
130.
No, 130 miles total. So you're about 8 miles
8
off.
mile. Excellent.
That's walkable.
It's very mom spaghetti. Very cool. Yeah, we can do this.
All right. In a random direction. So I'm going to roll a D8.
But
Or why don't
it
you roll a
isn't
D8?
perilous. Should make this clear that it is not. At least I don't think so, right? Does it say safely at a random distance? Okay. The place itself could be
Yeah.
perilous, I guess. My bad. All right. 1d8. 5.
All right, so if we're doing a clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are going to be 8 miles to the southwest, or southeast, rather, which just puts you out in the Felldales outside the Scar of the Spider.
And it's still midday, right? So I guess we
Yeah.
just start walking. Maybe we...
I messed up. I think we're close. I could probably roll some sort of relevant knowledge, but
Looks at Tarazi.
you could likely even figure out where we are, probably by looking at the sky or something.
Yeah, would you want a survival or a knowledge geography?
Probably survival's better.
It's a dirty 30.
Yeah, I think Tarazi, being the master woodsman / plainsman that he is, can figure out, by the angle of the sun compared to where you just were in Eidenvey, and like the prevailing winds and stuff, and the just wonderful smell of the scar on the air, that you're not too far off, and you can figure the approximate direction to go.
Oh yeah, we're about, 8 miles to the southwest of the Scar of the Spider. No problem. This way.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, everybody.
'Cause that is probably very embarrassing as a caster to mess up teleportation magic, but
It's been a heck of a day.
Well, I can't do teleportation at all.
sure hope we don't get into a fight on the way there. So,
We never stopped to heal. I guess we could have asked the brother if he had any channels.
No time. There was no time. It was very busy.
I know.
Right back into another sermon.
Yeah, Alwyn can heal us while we're moving. He can do most of it.
I think Dervish could have gotten you all up to full.
Yay.
Hooray.
I have 3 spells. No, I have 4. I have 4 spells that are not cantrips at this point. Wow. The lowest I've been.
I will say, if you ever went through the Flayer stuff, that spiked chain that Brixby stole was magical, as was her armor, and she had a scroll on
Think
it.
about that.
I did, just not. It didn't seem it was the time yet. I figured we'd do that when we were back at Pater's.
And I guess we could do it while walking. I mean, Sam isn't wrong. Maybe we'll have to chain something on the way there. Do you want to roll and I'll do a take 10 if you get less than a 30?
I think... I don't remember if you had one more than I do, or I have one more than you do. I have a 22.
Oh, yeah. Let me roll, and then you should take 10 if that's cool with you. Because you have
Okay.
2 more than I do
Yeah.
on that one.
I have 2 more than you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I rolled a 22.
Okay, well, if I take 10, that would be a 32.
So that's enough to identify in a +1 unholy spiked chain, which is probably better than a chainsaw, and Kira should just switch to it. A set of +1 chainmail direct from Hot Topic, and a scroll of Windwalk
Ooh, that's a fun one.
for making expeditious retreat if you trip below the retreat threshold, which you guys came so close.
Oh, yeah, that is, that ain't Brix, but it is Alwyn. Because that's an alchemist, cleric, oracle, druid, or shaman spell.
Yeah, he can hang on to it then.
Yeah, nothing gives you any trouble on the way back to the Scar of the Spider. 8 miles, it takes a couple hours, so it's getting to be later in the afternoon now. Are you headed to Pater's or to the sort of hillside, slowly growing cemetery?
I assume the cemetery so we can sit all night.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay, and yeah, I mean, that basically involves skirting the edge of the valley, so you're up on the higher side of it, and you're familiar enough with the place that you can find your way over to the, I'm not sure off the top of my head how many grave markers it is. I want to say 6 at this point, but there's room on the cliff for one more.
And again, Tarazi can cast Keep Watch, so that, which up to 4, all 4 of us, if we wanted to, could get the benefits of 8 hours of sleep without having to sleep.
Such a clutch spell.
Dope.
Yeah, I think Alwyn would want that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would even say, like, can you cast that spell on us so that we can stand over her like she did for her friends?
Yes, I'll let Levi get some sleep, but I can cast it on the 4 of us if we're all interested.
Yes, please.
Beep, boop, boop, boop.
And by now the task of digging a grave is all too familiar, and now you spent last night here over Asuma's companions, keeping watch then as you're keeping watch now. And the sun sets, and hours later it rises again as you all keep a quiet watch over your fallen companion. We roll over to a new day with the sun cresting the horizon over the horrible valley deep down below you, where, the Dominion Hive still waits. You certainly haven't plumbed its full depths, but now the next time you go in, there's going to be one fewer member of the team. And, though the party isn't going to bed, I am.
Dang.
Good night, Sam.
Good night,
Night,
Sam.
Good night,
Good
Asuma.
night, Azuma.
That's what I was
Good night,
going to
Sam.
say. Good night, Asuma.
Aww. Aww.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
And I will remind everyone that in the temple, we did get 3 silver short swords and a silver long sword. I don't remember.
Use the shovel.
I don't remember who had the long sword. If it was Kira or
I like-
Tarazi, but one of you guys does.
I mean, we distributed them, I believe, but the shovel is the most undignified way to die, which
Yeah.
I think is just
Yeah.
the idea of like Tarazi and Levi looming over you, and then he's holding like a play school style shovel.
Well, the problem with the shovel is she's awake now, so I ain't hitting her.
Oh, that's fair.
Does that include the penalty for shooting at a prone creature?
Yeah, that's the one of the plus. That is the -8. So -4 for into combat, -4 because they're prone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're really getting Pathfindered on this one.
What happens to your AC when you are helpless?
It becomes a negative number.
Yeah, can't you just CDG at this point, Jeff?
Well, she's not helpless anymore, is she?
No,
No,
she is
yeah.
because Brix knocked her out
Yeah,
again.
Brix kind of just walked up and did the whole like.
Well, then she had a
the
turn
head
and knit
thing,
herself back together,
so-
I thought.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. She'd still
Oh,
below 0. The previous time, it was she got back into positive.
oh, well then edit that out. It'll be not even funny bloopers, just like embarrassing bloopers. For me.
If it makes you feel better, I also thought when Sam said she was knitting herself back that like she was up again. You described it too well.
And I thought she was actually knitting. So we're all.
Yeah, just knitting herself with needles. Knitting needles.
She's actually purling herself.
Just imagining like a crappy fleece blanket that just says "dead friend" inside.
Do not eat.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's explore that at one point.
Don't dead friend inside.
No.